here today at the East Brunswick Library, which might not be entirely obvious to you right now because there's no actual books around me. And that really takes me to the point of this segment, which is to explain why libraries are so relevant today and what they've done in order to evolve and adapt in a world where libraries need to compete and provide services that expand far beyond just books. And it takes me back to my recollections of libraries growing up. I remember when I went off to college, many of you know I attended Muhlenberg College, and that's in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And I remember going into the library on a regular basis there. It was a huge building that now actually is occupied by the admissions office, but it was about 9 stories, and the books were all housed in areas that were called the stacks. I think I even remember getting my first date by meeting somebody who was up in the stacks with me as we were studying. I forget what exam we were studying for. But the point is, the library to me at that point was a place that was filled with books. It was nostalgic. The Dewey card system catalog that you had to learn how to do when we were in school. That's what comes to my mind when I recall growing up with libraries around me. And I think for many of you my age, that's probably the same thing. And then, of course, I fast forwarded a bunch of years and actually had returned to school after medical school. I decided maybe it would benefit by going back and getting a business degree. So I enrolled at Rutgers Business School. And at that point, needed to go back into libraries that I hadn't been into in over a decade. And gosh, the world completely changed. I remember walking into the Rutgers library and all I saw were computers. I didn't see books. The card catalog system was gone. And so when I went to the front desk to ask for help, I was told, oh, you got to do everything on the computer. So I sat down at a computer and I was trying to actually just get on. And I couldn't even figure out how to do that. So I went back at least 2 times to the young kid who probably could have been my own son and asked him for help. And after about 3 attempts at getting on the computer, his answer to me was, well, you know, for people like yourself who have technological difficulties, maybe you should go over to the center where you can get an explanation on how to use the technology and then come back here. After wanting to just wring his neck, I did actually go over to the building that gives you all the technological help that I needed. And that person was almost as warm and fuzzy. He gave me a booklet that told me how to get onto the computer. So the point I'm getting at is that libraries have changed dramatically in the decades, and they've done what all of us have had to do. They've had to adapt. They've had to keep up. They've had to make themselves relevant in a world where you could probably get as much information in your cell phone as you can get from a library in terms of books and resources. They've had to move into a 21st century. And so that's what I really wanted to talk about today, what we actually have here in the East Brunswick Library. And believe me, we still have the books. There's lots of books here. It's still the #1 thing that people check out at the library, but it's a lot more. It's become more or less a community center for the township, so that besides the services that it provides, and I'll go over some of those things, it truly is a community center. The meeting rooms and the student groups meet on a regular basis in this building, and they all have an interchange of ideas and programs between the library and programs that are offered in the township and within the school system that really makes the building come alive, because building's nothing but a bunch of bricks and mortar. It comes alive because of the people that are in it and are utilizing it. So we seriously have a facility here that offers all of the things that people need to congregate, meet, have meetings for organizations in town, businesses that want to come in here. Our chamber utilizes it on a regular basis. So meeting space, community space. As far as what the library has to offer beyond just books, we have on a regular basis ebooks, audio equipment, movies that can be rented. We've got programs that are being offered in the library to educate students, and a lot of it in technology, which is why I chose to do this in the makerspace. In the room around you, you will find a lot of things that most people really would never have thought belong in a library. There's robotics programs that are done here, a lot of computer programs where people are utilizing 3D printers and actually creating projects, innovating. We've got a recording studio if you wanted to record a podcast or music. All of that's possible here in the library. If you wanted to check out robotic equipment, you want to check out sewing machines. We have a lot of these type of equipment, all that could be checked out. I'd love to show you some of them right now, but frankly, most of them are checked out. So the point is that the libraries have grown in its ability to provide and to keep up with the things that people in communities need. One of the huge features of our particular library is its huge emphasis on promoting medical and health related information to the public. We have a huge department that devotes a lot of time to providing access to all of the medical literature. I can't even, frankly, remember the last time I was in Robert Wood or St. Peter's Medical Library, because almost all of the research I need to do in my own practice, I could do right here in our own library. I give them PubMed numbers and they could find all the articles that I need. I can't remember the last time I stepped into the medical library at either of the hospitals. And that's phenomenal. The reputation of our health services was something that was recognized by the state, and it awarded us about a $300,000 contract to provide iPads with access to medical information that we've gathered here in the state. Now we're in our library and now making available to others in the state. You could check out those iPads. They've been provided to other libraries in the state, and it's all loaded with information that was gained and put together, collated right here in East Brunswick. So again, something that we should be incredibly proud of. We also have an incredible network of people who have helped support the library all these years, whether it's the foundation, which helps raise money for big projects that the library needs to do. A lot of the renovations that were done several years ago was raised through money that the foundation was able to provide. And going forward, they're going to look to do work in the children's area that needs to be done, and possibly contributing to a secondary branch out in the area where the redevelopment projects are taking place, so that we could expand the reach of the library to people who might not necessarily always have the ability to get here as easily as those that live in the immediate area of the library right now. We also have the Friends of the Library, which are busy on a regular basis raising money for a lot of the programs and products that are provided to our residents here. If not for their help, we might not have a good portion of the books and audio, visual, and other products that we're able to lend out to the community if not for their hard work. So we appreciate that. Want to make sure that they understand that they are a valued part of this library and an important integral part. So next time you have an opportunity, I know it's the beginning of the school year, a lot of your kids are going back to school now, but a lot of the work, a lot of the things that might be able to be used, help them perform well, to have the opportunities to excel in school, are things that we could provide right here in the library here in town. So take that opportunity. It's not that far, and come in, meet with a lot of our staff. And by the way, again, that's another thing that just can't be put on an app. We have a staff that works here that's professionally trained in providing the type of services and resources and access that you can't get on an app on a phone. These are just things that have to be done by people who are experts in the field. And you're lucky because we have them right here, and they're committed to making sure that we provide the services that residents in this town demand and are entitled to. So again, come out, come visit the library, have a good time, take a peek around the corner at areas you might not have visited in the library before, and welcome to the East Brunswick Library.